It has been a goddamn minute, but let's just get right back into it.
Don't drop that dun-dun-dun. Hey, don't drop that dun-dun-dun.
What's up, guys? It's Gage. Today we are talking about a card that I think is kind of an underdog in the new set Soul Fusion, one that's been kind of swept under the rug, overshadowed by a couple other cards in the set. Soul Fusion is Yu-Gi-Oh's new main core set booster box to be released, and it's given birth to a whole bunch of incredible cards. New Danger cards got released. All of them are really good. The new Snaky Boy is amazing, as well as the Big Bird. Also along that, we've been introduced the entire new archetype Thunder Dragons, which made a huge splash in the meta with the most recent YCS Niagara Falls, which was just last weekend. A lot of the decks popped up into the top 16. So decks performed rather well. Soul Fusion has definitely given a lot of new cards into the meta scene, but it's also given a lot of cards that I think just are going to be good in the future. Cards that you might be overlooking now when you're opening your boxes. One of those deemed underdog cards of the set is one that people actually talk about lightly, but I think it's a card that's going to be really, really good in the future, and one you definitely should look at maybe holding on to if you pull it rather than dishing it out for maybe $5 or something like that. That card is none other than Trap Trick. Trap Trick is a secret rare normal trap card with the effect of banish one trap card from your deck except Trap Trick, and if you do set one card with the same name from that card from your deck, it can be activated this turn. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you can only activate one trap card. You can only use one Trap Trick per turn. I talked about Condemned Witch when it was announced a while ago, and I think that card is also absolutely incredible. That card's like $3 by the way, which is bonkers to me. But I think Trap Trick is truly the most slept on card of the set. I think this card's absolutely incredible, and it's only a matter of time before it becomes really good, and let me explain to you why that might be. Trap Trick actually saw some play in the Paleozoic deck that topped YCS Niagara, which isn't that surprising, you know, being able to tutor out a trap from your deck at the cost of just being able to only activate one trap card for the rest of the turn is not bad at all. Of course, when you're playing a heavily trap-based deck, being able to get access to really any trap card in your deck's very valuable. It's also just really convenient that it's for the rest of the turn after the card activates, you can only activate one trap card. So you can activate as many as you want prior to activating Trap Trick, so you can just use all your good ones and then maybe search out the one for the last hoorah at the end there. You just have options with Trap Trick when you're playing a heavily trap-based deck. But I think where this card might shine the most is in cards that might not play as many traps. Take, for instance, a deck that plays maybe a little bit more aggressively, but you have one specific either archetype trap card you want to get to, or just a really good trap card that rounds out your entire deck. Two examples I can think of is Danger. If you want to play Danger and get access to Danger Zone, you can use Trap Trick to have essentially 6 copies of Danger Zone in your deck. But also the one that popped into my mind, and it might be a little bit dated, but it's kind of just a reference to go off of, and that's ABC back when Torrential Tribute came to 3. Torrential Tribute was undoubtedly the best trap card you could play in ABC because you would get all the effects. You could tag out your ABC Buster Dragon in tandem with it too. Just tons of really great synergies with Torrential Tribute. Also, it being a board wipe's insane. So now that you would have access to essentially 6 copies actually of Torrential Tribute, that's something to think about. I understand ABC isn't topping anymore anywhere. It's a little bit dated of an example, but I think it's an example that can hold true moving in the forward when we see another deck pop up of the likes of it. A deck that would just want to play maybe a small handful of traps. Having the access to pick and choose which ones you want to get to with Trap Trick, invaluable. And the reason you're probably not seeing this card talked about as much is because it's not really its time to shine right now. It'll be eventually, don't get me wrong, but right now we're in a format where the one card FTK that just recently came out is literally the best deck, probably hands down. I'll have to talk about that on a different day because, oh boy, that's a problem in itself. But Trap Trick is just overall, I think, around an incredible card. It's a card that I think will definitely see play, whether it be when we get another archetype released that would have just a powerful, potent archetypal trap. Is archetypal even a word, man? I don't even think that's a word. Archetype specific is probably the word I should be using, so we'll go with that. So when we get another deck with an archetype specific trap card that you just either need to get to, whether it be integral to your strategy or it just helps it a absolute metric fuck ton, Trap Trick I think is a card that you'll see pop up in those kinds of decks. So while you might not be seeing it pop up too much now, I think it is a card that definitely will see a lot more play in the future. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. What do you guys think of Trap Trick? Do you guys think it's an actually decent trap card? I think it's one of the most slept on cards of Soul Fusion, but of course I'd love to hear what you guys think. Also, let me know down in the comment section below of other cards that are just being slept on in Soul Fusion. Do you think there's any other cards that people just aren't batting an eye towards that are definitely really powerful? I know you guys are really creative and you probably have a lot of ideas. Share them down in the comment section below. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, definitely subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Nim Nim, signing out.
Okay, it's the ruler, Nightmare Cougar. Keep me a Ruger, pop me a poop butt. The east where I grew up, so it's what I threw up. Sicker than the motherfucker, might throw my food up.